You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Good evening. Welcome to Inside GCT. This edition is for our show Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which opens 1 week from today on March 11th. What an exciting time, and we are so honored to have with us today our director, Lorraine Cotten, and two of her actors in the show, and we will let them actually introduce themselves in just a minute. But before we do, let's turn it over to Lorraine. Tell us, please, about Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is based on the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which came out in 1988, if you're from back in the day, with Steve Martin and Michael Caine. It's really, really funny. You will come and laugh. You will forget your troubles. And it's based on this one guy who is a scoundrel who, help me, he finds women. He's a con artist. He finds these women that are really wealthy, and he cons them out of their money and their jewels. And then he's really good at it. He's really wealthy and good at it. He comes across this other guy, this loser, and
tell me how you really feel.
Yeah. And so the loser gets maybe $20, and this other guy over here, Jim Dale Green, has tons of money. So he decides he wants to learn from Jim Dale Green how to do it right. And that's how the story starts.
So who is this loser?
This loser's name is Jared. He plays Freddie.
That's right.
So Jared, tell us about your character.
I play Freddie Benson, and as Lorraine so aptly pointed out, I'm a kind of a low-level con man, a grifter of sorts, who loves the game, not necessarily very great at it, thinks he's hot stuff, and he just really enjoys the pleasure of being able to trick someone into funding him through whatever shenanigans he hopes to get himself into.
So you run into Lawrence,
right,
played by Jim Dale Green.
Right.
And tell us about Lawrence.
Well, Lawrence is an experienced con artist. He has been doing it for a long time. And the fun is sort of gone out of it for him to some degree. And when he stumbles upon Freddie, who is supposedly this new great con artist called the Jackal, who has been rumored to be around working the area. And so he sees this guy, and he's not very experienced, but he can see that he's still excited about everything. So he sort of takes him under his wing and sort of teaches him what he knows, and thereby hangs a tale. And then they begin a little bit of a rivalry and
friendly
competition. And they meet this woman. They decide that they're going to choose a woman, select an amount of money, and the first one that gets the right amount of money from this woman will win the bet, and the other one has to leave the area. And that's the basic plot of this story.
Right, without giving anything away.
Without giving anything away.
Yeah. So it's not a two-person show.
Oh no, by no means.
So can you tell us about the rest of the cast? Anyone, all of you.
Christine is played by Susanna Corrington. Christine is the woman who they have a bed over. She's called the Soap Queen. She's really charming and very innocent. And then there's Chad Hoy. He's Andre, and he is kind of a partner to Jim Dale Green, to Lawrence. You guys want to?
Who else is there? We have a great ensemble.
Yeah, fantastic. Muriel.
Muriel,
There are two.
Muriel is another one of the
Jolson?
women. Gina Jolson.
Gina. Sorry, Gina. Jillian Barron plays one of Lawrence's marks.
Plays Jolene.
Jolene Oakes.
Who unbeknownst to Lawrence, ends up getting engaged to her. Or she thinks they're engaged, and he has to convince her that he is not the person she really wants to get married to. So they make up a little story. And
She has other plans for you.
she has other plans, and I have other plans for her. So. I just want her money.
She's from Oklahoma.
She's from Oklahoma.
Interesting.
Yes.
So
As opposed to where the show is set, the French Riviera, Beaumont-sur-Mer. So this tourist from out of town who he wins over, and later she sinks her claws into him, is quite an interesting character in this kind of classy resort town.
It has the feel of kind of an old movie because it's based on a movie that came out in 1964. Bedtime story with David Niven, Shirley Jones, and Marlon Brando. Thank you very much. And so it kind of has an old movie feel, and that's what our costumes look like. But it's a little naughty. It's naughty in a good, great kind of way that adults will really enjoy. You can laugh and feel comfortable laughing at things on stage, and they're funny. They're so funny, and we have a great ensemble.
We do.
Our ensemble works so hard. They are the hardest working ensemble I've ever seen. They dance, they sing, they act, they move these
scenery.
incredible wagons around a lot because we have lots of different locations. They are Leah Barrett, Ashley Cunningham, Bailey Dumlau, Eileen Kwu, I can't say her name right, is that right? Benjamin McElvain and Paul Scott. Some of them are here today. Hey.
Don't say anything.
Yeah. And then we have a great music director, Jason Eschiffen, and our choreographer, Ellen Ingram, our stage manager, Oakley Weddle, our assistants, Katie Cotten and Carson Scott, our set designer, Andy Saunders. He's got this fantastic concept that we are, I like what we're doing with it. I think it's very successful. They move around, and it's really interesting to watch how the story is being told. It's not boring at all. You'll be very excited by all the movement.
Well, tell us more about that, about the set, because what we're seeing now is some of the pieces in different configurations, but tell the people watching and the people here, how did you get to this concept? How did you come up with this idea? What was that process, and what is it? What are we looking at?
We're looking at 4 wagons. We call them wagons. Sometimes we call them trucks. But they're wagons, they roll. They're on casters, and they're really built very, very well. They move well. These two turn around. They have kind of doors with, it's not finished yet, but some pretty stuff on it. And then you turn it around. Oh, wait. And okay, this one, you open it up. It's a surprise. A bed comes out. It's a
Surprise.
Murphy. Surprise! You fold it out, and this Murphy bed thing comes out. So, yeah. And then on this side, when we go to the casino, a roulette wheel comes out. So they open the doors, and it comes out. It's just like magic, and then they push it, and they close the doors again.
So the set really transforms into just a myriad of locations.
Several places.
Casino, your villa, a hotel, a hotel bedroom. And so they're being pushed all around the stage in these awesome configurations and allowing us to kind of seamlessly transition from one locale to the next. You got anything on this?
No.
Who moves the set? How does that happen?
Everybody lends in, pitches a hand. At least so I've been told. Everybody's gonna finally be in on the choreography there. But it's part of the scene transitions. It's almost like a part of the dance, part of the choreography of the show. It's everybody grabs something, pulls a chair off the stage, or brings on a wine bucket. Or
We have a dancing set.
We have dancing dancers pushing around the set and looking beautiful while they do it.
Well, fantastic. I would imagine that requires some practice. Am I right? Or is it just happenstance?
They'll testify.
It's taken a lot of work, and we're still working on it. We will have it there it's almost there. We're still working on it. But yeah, every time you move something, if you have an extra hand in the picture, the audience sees that. So the goal is to make it look easy. And so if you don't need the hand, you keep it away. But our tendency as actors is to want to help. And so, I mean, it's been trying to edit things like that. And I mean, we're all over the house, as you'll come and see. We're all over the place. They're jumping around and acting crazy, and they're down here, and they're back there by the door, and they're in the audience. So
watch your toes.
yeah, yeah, it's been very challenging to do that. I had a lot of help from, of course, Ellen Ingram, the choreographer, and the actors. All have great ideas. It's been a true collaboration. I have really enjoyed it.
Because this is a challenging space to do a show that has so many locales. I can imagine.
Yeah.
This
could
was
say that.
Andy's concept. Andy Saunders came up with this concept, and I walked into it later. And then we worked together to try to come up with ways to do different scenes. And then we've had to edit along the way to try to find a faster way to do it, or a way where we didn't move quite as much scenery.
These were not built from the start, so you didn't get to come in and begin rehearsing with them. How did you figure out how to manipulate these wagons or trucks from the beginning?
Well, we started off with a map. Andy and I met for hours and hours, and he came up with a map, and everybody got a little copy of it that had each little scene and what it was supposed to be. And then he had these tiny little pieces, just these tiny little blocks that were each one of these things. And so we would take them and move them around. And then we realized they were really too little to understand what was happening. So he built this beautiful model that I think is in the office now. It looks very much like this. It's this beautiful model that is big scale. And then Ellen and all of us would take it and move it around. And a lot of the ensemble members actually, I think it was Benjamin, I saw him working on it. He was taking salt shakers and napkins, I don't know, different things on the table and trying to remember what he has to move. Because each one of them has a huge list of things that they have to move, and they carry it around with them.
Wow. Again, I'm sure it takes many hours of practice to get that right. The other thing that I would imagine takes many hours of practice would be the music side of things. This is not just a straight play, it is a musical, correct? Or
Yes.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
We're going to pretend to have music. And how does that work? Because I know, again, even with these wagons and trucks, this is a very limited space at GCT. Is it a recording?
No, thankfully. We get to work with a very talented music director who I believe is bringing in some other very talented musicians, Jason Eschefem, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. But we've been working with him from the beginning on really having him plunk out notes to get us just really precise on the harmonies that we're doing. It's a complicated score for both the instruments and the singers, and I think he's done a really great job of making sure we know our stuff. And hopefully that will be reflected when we open and we sound great.
So,
Hopefully.
where is the orchestra?
They're set up in your office. We're piping them in through the sound system. And surprisingly, it's worked so far. I think we're FaceTiming a monitor back in the booth, and so we can see him conduct us.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a complicated production, and I'm really kind of interested and enthralled to see how it's all coming together, because all these little pieces that we've talked about for so long, it's like, oh, and this will be this when we get to that point. It's started to actually come together, and it's all starting to mesh. So it's a lot of fun to watch it work.
Yeah, there's a monitor. Jason has put a monitor back. It's not there right now, but there's a monitor usually back there in the booth.
Up there.
And
We can see him.
I would have to have glasses on to see it, but I'm guessing you guys can see it. But you see his head, Jason's head, and he's like playing a piano. It's so funny.
He conducts us with his hair.
Yeah.
We see that, and that's when we come in.
And he's got a microphone set up out by the office so that the ensemble members and others who are pitching in vocally can do the vocals from off stage, and then the sound pipes into here. I don't know how it all works. He just told me, and it's good. I like it. It sounds good.
It works. So far, it's working really great. We'll see how when we get the rest of the musicians in, we'll see how that works. But
I don't know how it is to
looking
be
forward
thrown
to
out of
that.
your office. How's that?
You know, it's GCT. We tape and pray.
But I'd still rather.
What has the rehearsal process been like? Since it's both a play and music and choreography, and what has that been like? Walk us through that process. That's something I'm always very interested to learn. And from you guys, what has that been like? This is such a different kind of thing for me. I don't usually do musical comedy. I do some, but I'm usually the non-singing role, or I only have like one song, or I'm in the chorus or whatever. This is this is the first time I've had to do the singing and dancing and acting all at the same time, and to this extent, and it's been harder for me to sort of get it all together than it would be for just to do it acting show. This musical comedy scares me more than Shakespeare. I'm much more comfortable doing Shakespeare than I am doing
He's going to be great.
being a song and dance man. But it's fun. It's been a good challenge, and I like to have a challenge.
Well, before we move on, and I want to hear from you too, Jared, but Jim, tell us about addressing those fears. What is that like as an actor to recognize that this may not be your natural suit, and how do you combat that?
Well, you just try to do your best, and you take advice from those who do it very well. And I've had a lot of really great support from everybody. And you know, Ellen knows Ingram, who is our choreography, I've worked with her many times, and she knows my abilities as a dancer, and she sort of has done her choreographing my stuff to suit me, as opposed to me having to sort of jump in and do stuff that I'm really not comfortable with or even capable of. So she knows I know my limitations as a dancer, and so does she, and she's worked really well with me on that. So.
Well, great. Thank you for telling us about that. It's always interesting to hear the actors' approaches in this. So, Jared, what has rehearsal been like for you, for the process?
It's been a lot of fun. I came in a little late to the process because, as everybody in this cast is, we all have a very busy schedule doing multiple shows around town. So even our music director was in a show. Exactly. During our rehearsal process. So we would have him for a few days during the week, and when he wasn't there, we would be working with tracks that he'd recorded, and we'd be doing blocking scenes, or we'd be doing choreography with Ellen. So there's a lot of like divided time where we're dedicating our energies to one specific thing, and so we're learning all these separate pieces at once, and it's kind of like with the set and the sound, it's all kind of finally meshing. Finally, the gears are interlocking. So it's been a lot of trying times, but it's been worth it, I believe.
So from the director perspective, what has the rehearsal process been like?
It's been really fun for me because we have a really talented group of actors. They're comedians, and so I felt that I could give them a lot of freedom, different than working with students, which I've taught a lot of high school, and they're fun too in a different way. But I could say, okay, come up with something, come up with something funny, and they'll do it. They just go, and it's really fun to watch. I mean, they might have a million and one ideas, and it's trying to figure out which one is right for our particular audience in our show, and that's been really fun. The transitions have been challenging, and I enjoy that challenge, and I've had a lot of help with it, and people who were really willing to work hard. And I'm excited to see how all that flows when we get the lights tomorrow. We get our lights tomorrow.
It'll be exciting.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I like to ask in these Inside GCTs are, think about the process today, and I'd like to hear from each one of you, what is a favorite moment of yours in this Dirty Rotten Scoundrels process? It can be a funny moment, it can be an aha moment. Just I'd like to hear what is something that stands out in your mind that you'll probably remember beyond this time.
It's a hard thing to think, but there's been a lot of interesting moments. There's been a lot of interesting moments. It's been a lot of interesting moments.
You can give us several. It doesn't have to be the top one.
It's hard to. I can't think of anything really specific off the right now. I have to think about it a little bit.
I think for me, one of the moment I realized that as a cast we were all going to work really well together was the first day we blocked a particular song, and I've never worked with our co-star Susanna before, and it was kind of serendipitous, I think, that we were all cast in the roles that we were, but we got to do one of our favorite songs, "Love Is My Legs," and there's this kind of throwaway stage direction in the script about these two characters who have gotten down on their knees, and there's a pause in the music, and it says the two characters shuffle towards one another on their knees, and we're like, can we try this for Lorraine? She's like, yeah, sure. And so we did, and we almost couldn't keep it together. In fact, I think there's video of us breaking at the very end of that song. I don't know if we've used that for publicity or not, but it just was a time when I thought, okay, this is a lot of fun, and I think we're all going to be able to have a lot of fun actually doing the piece. And I think that's what's going to be entertaining about it. It's a funny show, the music's good, and we're going to love doing it. So hopefully the audience will love watching that. So.
You have a favorite memory?
There's so many. Well, there's a moment actually it's in Ellen's choreography and in the story when the soap queen arrives and she has a lot of suitcases, and I don't want to reveal it, it's kind of funny, but something happens, and the first time it happened, and the actor did this, and we were all dying. It's just really funny, and the whole rehearsal process has been like that. They've been very supportive of each other and felt free to laugh and just have fun. Of course, it's hard work too, but that's one of my favorite moments, when everybody just laughed. We just laughed.
Laughing with and at.
Yes, with and at.
Okay.
Okay.
One last question, then we'll get into the famous 9.
Okay.
I would assume that this show takes a lot of energy. How do you muster up the energy to carry through for 2+ hours?
Drugs.
He's kidding. I just want to say that.
Right, yes,
He's just kidding.
Joking.
Allegedly.
You got an answer, Jim? They told me mine was a lie.
Well, I don't work. I don't work anymore, so I have the whole day off to just relax. I can, my normal get-up time in the morning is around 11:30. Yeah, but I don't usually go to bed until like 4:30 or 5 a.m. So.
Well, are you going to answer it? For
did.
real? No, I didn't.
So
I have been maintaining a schedule of going to work from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then doing rehearsals from 6 to 10 for about the past year, and at this point it's just my habit. So I just have to roll with it. I have a lot of coffee. Caffeine, that's the drug I was talking about.
there you go.
All right, are we ready?
Uh-oh.
All right.
Oh my God.
We start that way, right?
Oh, you want me to start down there? Okay, we'll
Yeah.
start down there. Okay. So I'm going to ask a question. It's like rapid fire. Don't put too much thought into it. Just give us the first answer that comes to mind.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay,
We're going to
I
start
guess.
with you,
I guess
and
so.
we're going to move this way.
I guess so.
Jim, what is your favorite word?
Favorite word? Cracker, I think is my favorite word. I like the word. I don't know. I just like the way it sounds.
Who are you calling Cracker?
Cracker. 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 I just like that word, cracker.
All right.
Pickle is another word I like a lot too.
Pickle and cracker.
It's also his favorite food.
Well, they're funny, as the man says. Words with a K are funny. Well, they are.
Okay.
Cracker, kumquat. Pickle. Precarious.
Kumquats spelled with a K? I didn't know that.
Well, it has the sound, you know what.
Sorry.
All right, Jared, what's your favorite word?
Right now, it's juxtaposition.
Lorraine?
Do I have to be funny?
No.
Oh. Okay, love.
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 All right, Lorraine, what is your least favorite word?
Hate. Yeah.
Jared, least favorite word?
Taxes.
Jim?
Least favorite word. Flotsam. Flotsam is a word I don't like. I don't like the sound of that. It actually sounds it sounds like a dirty word, but it's not really a dirty word. Flotsam.
Okay, Jim, I'm a little terrified to ask you this question. Jim, what turns you on?
What turns me on? What turns me on? I think anything done well. Anything done well. A piece of music performed well. A stage play that's produced well. Anything that's done well.
You can tell that your cast is here, and the show is full of innuendo because they went right there. All right, Jared, what turns you on?
I'm deciding whether I should be fun. No. Passion. Watching somebody's. Oh, I got you. Fine, I'll be funny.
No, that was okay.
Lorraine?
I forgot. That's what I was going to say. Oh, okay, let me think. Compassion. How about that? Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Lorraine, what turns you off?
Smells. Bad smells. It turns me off.
Taxes.
Turns me off. I think arrogance and pomposity turn me off pretty much.
Okay, Jim, what sound do you love?
Sound. Sometimes my favorite sound is silence.
I love that song.
Not this, you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes it's just nice to listen to the silence. I don't know. Because silence does have a sound. You know, I mean, just be silent for a while and you hear it.
Jared?
A bassoon.
Lorraine?
Cello. Katie Cotten plays cello, and I love the cello.
That's another one of my favorites too. Cello. I like cello music.
I love it.
Lorraine, what sound do you hate?
I hate that chalkboard sound. Yeah.
Jared?
White noise, like static, and just the background noise when you can't find the silence.
Interesting. What noise do I dislike the most? I know what it is. As a performer and as an audience member, I don't like talking. It's that sound I hate to hear the most is talking in the audience. When I'm either watching something or acting on stage, whether I'm on stage or in the audience, trying to watch a show, hearing people talk bothers me.
Okay, Jim, this one, you already told us you don't work, so this one you have a myriad of choices to pick from. What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Panderer.
I don't think they pay taxes.
Several. Let's see. I would have loved to have tried to go into video journalism.
Lorraine?
Nurse. It's true. That's for Ashley. Ashley, one of our cast members, is a nurse. Yeah.
I guess if I was gonna try to be funny, I guess seriously, I guess I would want to. I think I'd want to be a writer, novelist, or something like that. Because I think those people, I think they're very clever.
There's still time.
Jared, what profession
I can't
would you
give you the
not
pictures.
like to do?
IRS agent. I got something on the mind, obviously.
Clearly. Lorraine, what profession would you not like to do?
I would not want to be a lawyer.
And you married one.
I did marry a lawyer, but it's no reflection on him.
Does he know that? That you would not want to be a lawyer?
Oh, yeah.
Or is this a
I don't
revelation?
know. We've never talked about it, but I couldn't be a lawyer. What a horrible job.
Jim?
What job would I at least want to be?
Yes.
I think I would at least want to be as a prison guard.
It just got dark.
No, I really don't think I'd want to be a prison guard. That's too hard. That'd be too hard. That's too much work.
This is Don't you wish you had asked these questions at the start
No,
of the
being
rehearsal
serious.
process?
Don't you wish you'd given us a heads up?
No, that's what makes it wonderful. Okay, Jim, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you reach the pearly gates?
Come in.
Jared?
It's happy hour all the time. You know me.
Lorraine?
Your folks are over here.
Oh, that's very sweet.
I'm sweet.
And modest.
And modest most
Careful,
of the time.
Jim doesn't like arrogance.
Well, that's not
Sorry.
being arrogant. That's just being truthful.
I'm not always sweet, but I can be.
And one of the things I'd like to do is to let each one of you make a sales pitch into the camera for your show that opens 1 week from today, on March 11th. And so, who would like to go first? As closing remarks, your sales pitch to someone to come and see Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Don't all.
Okay. You want to laugh, you want to have a good time, you want to enjoy yourself for 2 hours and forget everything that's bad out there, come and see this show. You'll have an interesting evening. So surprises and laughs and magic for you. So come to see the thing. You want your money.
It's great.
Oh, it's very entertaining. Every member of the company is extremely talented. They are just fun to watch. They're fun to watch play with each other. They really play, and it's fun to watch them play. The music sounds great. The set's going to be fantastic. The costumes are going to be fantastic. The lights are going to be fantastic. It'll really be, like Jim said, a good time, a way to forget your troubles.
Well, gosh, we've just all put in so much work. It'd be a shame if you really didn't come to see it.
It would.
There's no better way to end than that. Come see Dirty Rotten Scoundrels at Germantown Community Theatre. You can call the box office at 453-7447 or visit us online at gctcomeplay.org. Thank you so much for joining us.